Welcome to A&B Horror Movies. I'm Aaron, and I'm very excited to be joined today by Aaron Fradkin. Aaron, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
This is going to be fantastic. First off, congratulations on Beezel. I loved your film. I can't wait to chat with you about it.
Hello, my name is Harold J. Weems. I have been hiding something all of these years. I know exactly who's responsible for the death of my wife. But now, with the help of a documentarian, Apollo, we are about to set the record straight. Let's get started. You're rolling, yes? We have a good rhythm. Come on, stay with me. This is where I found her. I'm sorry, Apollo. You never stood a chance.
Why are you doing this, man?
I've made a lot of sacrifices in my life, and I was chosen by her. I can already taste you.
Charlotte!
What's wrong with you?
Quick introduction. You are a writer, a director, a producer. You founded Social House Films with your wife, who also stars in Beezel, Victoria Fradkin, who may be joining us in a moment. And with Social House Films, you have numerous shorts, including Ballerina, that got over 20 million views on YouTube, which is unbelievable. First of all, congrats to all of your horror shorts. Congrats on Social House Films and Beezel. I loved it. I'm a huge fan of your film. Congratulations.
Hell yes. Thank you so much.
Hell yes. Let's see. And I wanted to read a couple reviews about Beezel. The first one is from Dread Central. They said it's dark, wicked, and devilishly fun. And Popcorn Fright said it's unforgiving and utterly frightening. Fantastic.
They're
I
all true
completely agree.
statements.
I agree with them too. Excuse me. So why don't we start with Beezel? First off, how did the film come about? From perhaps writing the script, the ideation process, filming, and post-production.
So, if you don't already know, I actually shot this movie in the house that I grew up in.
Yes.
So, believe it or not, when we were writing this, we started off by just sort of, at least I started off by going back to my childhood when I first moved
Mhm.
in it, when I was 6 years old at this, creepy house in Western Massachusetts. And I was just sort of reminding myself of all of these, terrifying imaginations and dreams that I came up with. My bedroom was situated right above the basement where we shot the film.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
it was pretty terrifying as you could imagine being this like little kid, it's a very long house and my bedroom was on one end of the house and my parents' bedroom was all the way at the other end of the house. So it was pretty terrifying and
Hmm, hmm.
every time I'd have like friends over, we would like walk by the basement door and like dare each other to like go down and you know every once in
Oh
a
man,
while
that's
I would
awesome.
like creep into like
Hmm.
the crawl space, which is all real. Like everything you see in the movie is not a set. It's actually just how the house is built, including the laundry chute and the bathroom, which leads to the basement, the crawl space through the walls. Everything is real. So
It's
how did we come up with
terrifying.
the movie?
The setting's terrifying, but go ahead. We can
Yeah,
come
I
back
mean,
to that.
the question is, how do we come up with a movie? It really started with just, we have access to this location. My parents
Hmm.
were about to actually sell the house, which they did at the end of 2023. And
And I
so
understand the new owners call it the murder house.
that's true.
Is that
Yeah.
true? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Word
awesome.
got out that we shot a movie there. There's still like kids in the neighborhood that will walk by and ask their parents supposedly if a witch actually lives there. Um,
Fantastic.
but yeah, that's sort of how it came to be.
Cool, cool. Well, the house itself is very creepy. You must have had moments growing up where you were absolutely terrified. That crawl space in real life, is it as scary as it is in the film? I mean, I just thinking of getting trapped in there, like I don't want to give anything away, but just getting trapped in that crawl space.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, I mean it absolutely is. Even when we were filming, I
Hmm.
remember discovering cigarette butts in the sand of the crawl space. Now,
Oh,
this is
wow.
particularly creepy considering I don't smoke. Nobody in my family smokes. Nobody that's ever even come to our house has ever had a cigarette, let alone smoked one in the crawl space. And we had that house in our possession since 1994. So when we were
Oh my
filming,
gosh.
we were kicking up sand, I was finding these old cigarette butts that must have been from the early 90s, 80s. And I'm just imagining like who else has been here? Or maybe somebody
That's
just walked through
that's
the
so
crawl space.
creepy.
It
Yes,
was
yes.
it was very, very creepy. And I did not enjoy going in to shoot. I don't think our TP did either. None of the actors did in particular, but we did it. And yes, it is definitely as creepy, if not creepier in person as it is on film. And we have
Oh, so
Victoria
cool.
joining us now.
Oh,
Yes. Hi,
lumberingly.
Victoria.
Hello, nice to meet
Victoria Fradkin, welcome for joining us. Oh my gosh, and your new arrival.
you. Yes, she's here. She's
Congratulations.
joining the scary fun. Thank you.
Oh, adorable. So you are also you partner with Aaron, of course. You're married. You
Oh,
founded
yeah.
Social House Films together, and you star in Beezel as Nova. So this is so
Yes.
cool to have you both on. Um, well, while
We
I
got
have
Matt
you
joining us too.
and the cat, oh my God, it's like a full
Good
family.
luck
I
when
should
a
get
black
my.
cat crosses
I
framed.
know.
I saw some white in there though, so doesn't that make it
Oh,
less of an
True.
omen?
I know. I try to masquerade her as a fully black cat, but she's got her little white chin.
Yes, yes, like a what is it, tuxedo cat.
Exactly.
Well, while we have you, what was it like playing Nova in the film, bringing that character to life?
Oh my gosh, it was really one of the greatest experiences because she is the most fleshed out character I've gotten to play. I've gotten to like act in. And so I spent a lot of time really trying to like dive into that and do my best to round out that character for the film.
Hmm.
Um, hold on, let me turn that off. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Victoria did a fantastic job, though. I mean, she spent hours
Hmm.
before every shooting day rehearsing with Nico, who we actually flew
Yes,
out to France to play her husband. And
yes.
I don't know if you've seen the behind the scenes that we have on the Blu-ray, but there's some footage of them just in like the master bedroom, just working
Not yet.
until like the late hours of the night, just rehearsing this. So. It was really cool to see like Victoria like sink her teeth into this role and just give it her all.
But yeah,
Yes, yes.
I had
Go
the
ahead.
best time, and I feel so grateful that I'm in a situation where, I can act and participate in our films. And I
Hmm.
think that I'm still like a new actress, and I haven't been doing it as long as many other seasoned actresses out there. So I'm so glad I get to work on a set with like my husband and a DP Keelan, who we really trust and
Hmm.
admire. And these are people that make me feel more comfortable as an actor, and I can really get feedback and adjust. So I just had the best time ever.
Well, I think you did a fantastic good job. Fantastic job. I think you come across as a professional. I wouldn't know you were a new actor. So
Thank you very much.
congratulations,
She
congratulations
has been
there.
doing it for a while though.
Okay,
That's
okay, fair enough, fair
being
enough.
modest.
So, one thing that I love about your film is that, first of all, it spans multiple decades. It starts in the 1960s and then it goes up to the present day. And you've done a really clever job of making it into a horror anthology film with sort of a sequential order. Was that always your intention when you were writing the script? Was it going to
From
be? Go ahead.
Well, yeah, from the beginning, that actually was not really the intention. We originally intended to make a horror anthology,
Hmm.
which is why it does have that sort of anthological feel to it. But what we originally intended to do was just make three very almost standalone pieces and just sort of put them together in one. What happened is we
Okay.
ended up shooting the middle part of the movie with I don't know if you can hear me over the screaming. But we ended up shooting the middle part of the movie.
I don't hear any screaming. It's
Oh,
fantastic.
perfect.
We're good.
We
Go ahead.
shot the middle part of the movie with the nurse Naomi first, and
Yes.
we went to Massachusetts. We shot the whole thing, went back to Los Angeles. I cut it together. We showed it to friends and family and colleagues, and the feedback was just so resoundingly positive that we were like, you know what? Why make two completely other made up short films? Why not just
Mhm.
expand the story that we've already started? And so we wrote what happened before it
Cool.
and then what happened after. We flew the entire crew back out to Massachusetts and then finished
Mhm.
what we had started. So it was a very unorthodox way of making a movie. I think that's partly why like the structure is also very unorthodox, but it kind of just was one of those, lightning in a bottle miracle moments
Yes.
that we look
Well,
for.
it sounds like the stars aligned, and you can see with the final product. I'm a huge fan. What was it like when you were filming it? Were there moments where you thought, "I'm creating something really special here"? Like sort of, I don't know, the hairs stand up on your arms, and you thought, "This is really coming together nicely."
I mean, I would like to say yes. I think, there are a couple shots where we'll watch back and be like, that's really, really cool. Like I love the way
Mhm.
that this looks. And like the
Yes.
monster looks creepy. So,
Mhm.
we accomplished that. You never know though. Like when you're filming something, it's so
Of
hard
course.
to imagine what this is. I mean, you can imagine what it's going to be, or at least you can hope what it's going to be, but you
Mhm.
have no idea what this is actually going to turn into and if it'll resonate with anybody. And you're just so in the thick of, getting every shot and getting out every story beat that you need to in the moment that I can't even I can't even take the
Yes.
time to think about that.
Mhm. Mhm. Of course, of course. So, what would you say that you find appealing about found footage, the found footage genre, and making sort of a found footage film?
Sure. I mean, with this film, it was actually a multi-part reason as to why we included this found footage element. First of all,
Of
with
course, yes.
independent filmmaking, it's a lot cheaper to do. Just straight up, it's a
Mhm.
lot cheaper.
Makes sense. Yes.
I think it also adds to the realism of the
Mhm.
story that you're telling. When you're actually watching, mini DV footage or 8 millimeter footage from what feels like
Right.
decades ago, it just gets
Mhm.
under your skin because it feels authentic. And we actually did shoot on real 8 millimeter film and real mini DV and real VHS.
Oh, cool.
Um, and then the other reason why we included the found footage element as we did is because, like you mentioned earlier, it's a film that takes place over multiple decades. So as a way
Mhm.
to sort of show the, change in time and period, we would change the format that we were shooting in. So the film begins,
Oh, yeah, to
60
modernize it, right?
millimeter, and
Yes.
so it kind
Yeah.
of, subconsciously you feel like we're moving forward through time, and you get that just by a change in the technology.
Yes. Oh, and it comes across so well. And I really like the fact because it is in a progression that each story is almost stacked upon the one before it, and the audience knows what the new characters do not know what happened in the past. And it's just a perfect premise, perfect setup. Um, I loved it. And I do want to give a quick shout to the artwork on this, including the disc on the inside, which looks like a centipede, maybe.
It's so good. It's so cool. Yeah, Epic designed that. When they first sent that to us, we were like, yes,
It's
this is
awesome. Yes. Yeah, it's awesome. And
so
what
good.
is it? The blind witch waits. That's a
Blind Witch
fantastic,
Waits.
fantastic tagline. Um, let's see. What would you say inspired the movie? If you had to pick out some perhaps other films that inspired this one, what would you say? If you had to
Uh,
choose a few.
well, without a doubt, the 8 millimeter element, I think, was hugely inspired by Sinister. Sinister is such a creepy movie. It's one of my
Oh my
favorites. When
God.
people say, what
Yes.
is the scariest movie you've ever seen? That's one that
Yes.
comes to mind.
I mean,
Um,
those segments, right? That one where the family's on the like the lawn chairs and they get pulled into
yeah,
the pool.
that's
Oh
just
my,
the opening. Like, what a way to open a
oh my
movie.
gosh. Yes, I'm getting chills. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I interrupted
Um,
you. I get excited about
No,
some
no.
of these movies.
Also, Evil Dead. I'm a
Mhm.
huge Evil Dead fan. I'm just a sucker for anything Sam Raimi. Um,
Absolutely.
so it's there. It's all within the horror genre, but they're still very, very different. Um,
Of course.
Yeah,
I mean, you sort of pick and choose what you like, what elements you liked from films that were influential, and I think those are some fantastic ones to
totally.
mention. So let's talk a little bit about Social House films. You have a huge following on YouTube, many horror shorts. I haven't gotten to watch them all, but I have seen Ballerina, and I just rewatched it this week. What was it like creating that short, which is absolutely terrifying? And was it a challenge to incorporate sort of the mirror element because mirrors play a huge role in that film?
Well, the shooting with mirrors actually was not as difficult as you might think.
Oh, okay, I had no idea.
Yeah,
Just wondering. Yeah.
you just angle the camera in such a way and shot list in such a way where you don't see anything. And if we did happen to catch, a little reflection of like a tripod or something, we would just sort of paint that out frame by frame.
Oh, nice.
Although
Okay.
we were pretty good about not like capturing the camera in the mirror. We
Hmm.
didn't have to do much in post. Of course, the shots were like, were completely straight on. That was all just
Yes.
VFX, we're not like shooting into like the mirror at all.
Okay. Okay.
Shooting
Fair
this
enough.
film though, it really did come as a surprise. Obviously, we had no idea this was going to be as successful as it was when we were shooting. Um, we had already shot a lot of films that dealt with haunted reflections, like with Devil's Door and
Yes.
um, yeah, so we had done that before, but we had a friend Valeska who is a ballet dancer,
Hmm.
and so we wanted to write something that we know that she would have crushed, and she absolutely did crush it. This was actually the
Absolutely.
first film that we shot after COVID. So Vic and I had shot a bunch of short films, just the two of us at home. And this was the first one we were like, all right, now, people are starting to come out, but they're still wearing masks. So we were all like, like
See
masked up
each other
on
again.
there.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was the first like film that we actually got a crew together and, brought an actress out and did as a full team, full production.
Yeah. Oh, cool. And like I said, 20 million views. That's amazing. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you. No, it's
Um,
it's insane and it's not stopping.
and the longevity of it, right? Yeah, it's still going. Of the other horror shorts that you've worked on, like I said, I haven't seen them all. But do you have a favorite one that you'd like to give a shout out to?
I always mention Jokes on You just because that's a personal favorite of mine. I love the
Okay.
premise. It's starring a good friend of mine, Zach Morin. But it's about a guy that's told a cursed joke and he can't stop laughing until he passes on the curse by telling the
Oh
same
my
joke.
gosh.
So
Oh man, I'm gonna
I
check that
love the
out. I'll put.
premise. I think
Oh,
it's just weird and
that's
wacky and
that's
fun.
cool. Hmm.
There's some, cool gore in it too. At least you as YouTube friendly as it could be, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll watch that one next. Let's see. Do you have a favorite found footage film or films if you had to pick?
Favorite found footage.
I should have given you some of these
Man.
questions in
Yeah,
advance.
I mean, I think one that comes to mind is the Korean film is it Ganjam? Ganjam Asylum?
Yes, that's so good. I just
Yeah,
watched it in the last month. First time.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, great choice.
of course, Blair Witch Project, is like that
Yes,
terrified me when that first came out. So I don't know if I would categorize that as my favorite, but it's one of the most formative, that's for sure.
definitely groundbreaking in many ways. It wasn't the first found footage, but it was the found footage that made it popular, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Brought it to the front. Let's see. Do you have any, or what are your favorite films from 2024?
2024. What's a horror film that we saw that we liked in last year?
Let's see.
Oddity. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah, I
good.
think Oddity was like one of our tops. I
Yeah,
say
Damien
because
McCarthy's film.
when you're married, we share all the same tastes in every movie. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Oddity is so good. I
Yeah.
love his Caveat film, Damien McCarthy.
Yeah. We just watched
We
that after.
actually we had him on last year to chat with him.
Oh,
Fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah, Oddity's so good. At the time
Yeah.
we hadn't seen it, but awesome film. Let's see. The Substance was good. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
Yes, we
Um,
did see The Substance. I really like that one. We saw that in theaters.
oh, cool. Yes, I did too.
One of the last films we saw in theaters before the baby.
You'll get back. You'll get back to the theater. Um, let's see. Do you have any favorite haunted house films?
Hmm. I love Mike Flanagan's series, Haunting of Hill House. I know that's not a movie,
Yes.
but when I think of like, a well done, just classic haunted house story, I think of of Hill House.
Yes, it was so good. What the one
Yeah,
episode with what is it, like the broke neck lady?
right.
Or
Yeah. Yeah, the bent neck lady.
bent neck lady. Yes, I knew it was something like that. Oh my God. It's
Would you
awesome.
count The Shining as a haunted house movie?
I think so. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, then The
Yeah.
Shining.
Oh, there you go. Good choice. I love that movie. Let's see. I do want to do this or that questions, but I have one more sort of fun question. If there was a franchise or classic movie that you could remake or reimagine, what would you choose?
I've gotten this question once before, and it's not at all what
Oh,
you would think.
okay.
But there's a movie directed by Billy Wilder from the 50s called The Apartment, which I just love
Okay.
the premise of. It's not exactly a horror, although it could be
Hmm.
done in a very sort of darkly comedic kind of way. That is one that is just such a great, simple, single location, high concept movie that it has so much room for horror, suspense, comedy, you name it. I think if that were ever remade, I would love to like take that and kind of make it my own.
Yes. Oh, good choice. That would be cool. I hope it happens. Um, Circling back to Beezel before we do this or that, will there be a sequel? Do you have any ideas for a sequel to this
There
film?
might be. We actually, when we were writing the movie, we came up with a whole backstory for Beezel. So, I know a lot of people want more backstory of the witch, and we have that. And
Mm,
just because of the nature of the story and how it's told in this sort of anthological way, I think there's
yes,
a very simple way to kind of continue that and just, tell her story
that
throughout
would
time,
be cool.
go way back,
Hmm.
tell us what happens way in the future. So I don't want to say no.
Okay. Well, keep me posted. I would love that to happen. Count
Absolutely.
me in.
Absolutely.
Um,
Be the first to know.
yes, excellent. All right, let's do some this or that. No pressure. I'm just going to throw out two things. It's usually kind of fun. Um, Amityville Horror or The Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Okay. Tales from the Crypt or Tales from the Dark Side?
Tales from the Crypt.
Yes. I do love both, but Tales from the Crypt is probably better. Um, let's see. Hellraiser or Nightbreed?
Or
Clive
Night.
Barker.
Oh,
Nightbreed, some Clive
I
Barker
that's
in
right. I
there.
think I think Hellraiser.
Mhm.
I even
I do
like the
like
new
Nightbreed too,
Hellraiser.
though.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
David Buckner
Yeah.
Hellraiser I like too. I like all of them.
Yes. Oh, yeah, me too. They do kind of fall apart a little bit after like part four, maybe,
Yeah, yeah.
the
Just so
Hellraiser
original.
franchise.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. 70s or 80s horror movies?
Well, I want to say Evil Dead, I guess, was shot in the 70s, released in
Came out
1980.
in the 80s. So,
Yeah.
mm,
I would say 80s, I think.
yeah, I think I would. I mean, that's tough, right? But I would probably say 80s too, because the
Yeah.
70s, if you think like Halloween or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, sort of laid the groundwork for the 80s
Exactly.
films.
80s are
The
just so
ex
much more like colorful and bloody and yeah.
Yes, cheesy, the 80s
Exactly.
camp that came about. Let's see, packed movie theater or watch a movie at home?
Packed movie theater for sure.
Yes, agreed. Let's see, Blair Witch Project or Paranormal Activity?
Blair Witch Project.
Mhm. The classic film. Snakes or spiders? Kind of a trick there, because usually people hate both.
I'd rather have a pet snake, but I'm more afraid
Yes.
of spiders, I think.
Yeah, me too. Well, they did snakes on a plane. I think we need like spiders on a plane, right?
Yeah.
I
Ooh.
don't think we've had that.
Spiders on a train or spiders in an elevator.
Spiders. Oh my God, look at that. You could start a whole series of spider films. They usually do well, right? Add
They
that to
do.
your yeah, add
Did you
that
see
to
Infested?
I did. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. That was
Yes.
actually
It,
another one that of going back to your earlier question about
mhm.
best horror films I've seen all year. I don't know if that's like the best horror film I've seen all year, but it's definitely one of the creepiest that just really got under my
Oh
skin.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the
Everything.
spiders
I
keep
was just
getting
pitching
bigger
everything.
and
Yeah.
bigger. What's the other spider film that just came out that was pretty good?
I think it was
Uh,
called Spider, right?
Pat was it Spider? Yeah,
No,
but
there's Cobweb.
the, there was an it's an Australian film, but it's set in Manhattan or something. And
I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. I'm drawing a blank. It came out last year, but Infested was very good. Serpent and the Rainbow or Lord of Illusions?
Ooh, I don't know Lord of Illusions.
Oh
I'm
no, Scott
no.
Bakula. That's good.
I'll go with Serpent then.
Okay, perfect. You should check out Lord of Illusions. It's a fun one. Deserves
Yeah.
more attention.
Yeah.
Um,
Lord.
Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap is in it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Lord
it's a
of
good
Illusions.
film. Oh, and Famke Jensen is in it. A very young Famke Jensen from like I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Um, from like 1990, I think it came out.
Wow. All right, I
Yeah,
wrote that down.
yeah. And I think it's Clive Barker actually. I could
Really?
be wrong, but I think it's Clive Barker. Okay, last one. Jaws or Halloween 1978.
Jaws.
Most people go with Jaws. My co-host, that's his favorite movie, and Halloween is my favorite movie, so we always
Oh, that's
throw
funny.
that in at the end. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for chatting with me. Congrats on Beezel. I guess as a closing, what would you say to those who have not seen your film and don't know anything about it to get them to want to see it?
Good luck.
Good luck.
No, I mean,
Oh, I
I
love
think
that.
it's a wild
Yeah.
ride. I can confidently say that there is nothing like it.
Mhm.
I can guarantee that you will never see a film like this, or at least told in this way. And that is what
Yes.
excited me while making it, and it's why I would like to do it again.
I hope so. Like I said, I'm a fan. I love the structure. I think it's scary. I think you've created something that's unique. It's not like anything else out there. Um, Deserves to be seen, and hopefully, our little interview here will help make that happen.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much.
Yes. All right. Well, if you are watching, like and subscribe because it helps our channel. And thank you, Aaron, again, and thank Victoria for jumping on too, for chatting with me today.
Jesus, thank you. And thank you, Aaron.
Yes,
Wonderful name.
excellent. I love your name too. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Take care.